The CCP has weaponized secret societies against us. Welcome to China Uncensored, I'm Chris Chappell. It's pretty common knowledge that China has a rich criminal underground. I'm sure you've seen the Triads portrayed in a dozen movies and TV shows. But less well known are China's secret societies, and they prefer it that way. It's not much of a secret society if everyone knows about it. Well, allow me to spoil the secret. May I present to you the Hongmen Society, also sometimes called the Heaven and Earth Society or the Chinese Freemasons, although they have no connection whatsoever with the Western Freemasons, or the Northern Freemasons for that matter, aka Santa and his helpers, a society so secret you probably don't even think they're real. They may look like just a normal group of people on the surface, but don't be fooled. They come with all the trappings of a secret society, including an arcane symbol with a hidden meaning. A compass, a lotus, and a book. What could that mean? They also have exclusive membership, special greetings, insider rituals, and their own Letterman jackets? Man, those are awesome. I wonder where I can get me one of those. Their origins are shrouded in mystery, but one story goes that back in the 1700s, 128 Shaolin monks helped a Qing dynasty emperor, which one is disputed, repel an invasion, asking for nothing in return. But the emperor feared that the monks would turn against him, and so he ordered that their monastery be destroyed. Total anime move. But 5 monks survived and went on to form an organization dedicated to overthrowing the Qing dynasty and restoring the Ming dynasty. That organization became the Hongmen Society. This story is almost certainly not true, although it would make for a totally dope video game. There are tons of origin stories, most of them entirely or nearly entirely mythical. But however the Hongmen Society came about, they exist now, with organizations headquartered all over the world, including Canada, and have some pretty famous past members, including the founder and first president of the Republic of China, Sun Yat-sen, who joined in 1904. So given that both the Qing and Ming dynasties are long gone, what do they do with themselves these days? Well, have you ever wondered who keeps Atlantis off the maps? Who keeps the Martians under wraps? They do. They do. They also present themselves as helpers for Chinese immigrant communities abroad and preservers of Chinese culture. Oh, and they support the CCP. In fact, the Hongmen are recognized as a legitimate political party in both China and Taiwan. They're called Zhigongdang. You see, other than the Chinese Communist Party, China actually has 8 democratic political parties, all under the CCP's United Front Work Department, of course, which is a branch of the CCP itself. How convenient. Hongman organizations like the Hongman International Headquarters say that nowadays the association actively contributes to the future of the Chinese nation, while the World Hongman Organization, which Baidu claims works extensively with the UN, says the Hongman must arm their minds with Xi Jinping thought, all for the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. And this organization is headquartered in Colorado. Meanwhile, important members like the chairman of the Hongmen Chinese General Assembly also promote China's Belt and Road Initiative infrastructure projects. Here he is at the 8th Overseas Chinese Belt and Road Exchange meeting. And even the Hongmen groups in Taiwan are just as pro-CCP. In response to Nancy Pelosi's 2022 visit to Taiwan, the chairman of the Taiwan International Hongmen Chinese Association, Liu Pei-shun, put out a letter saying that the society has been clear-cut in opposing independence and promoting reunification, and that Taiwan has always been a part of China. You can tell because of Taiwan's different flag, government, and long history of never being a part of communist China. He repeated these claims in the 2023 Taiwan All Circles Conference to promote peaceful reunification, which was hosted by another Hongman organization, and he also toured with CCP officials in 2024. So yeah, the Hongman and the CCP have quite extensive ties, and it's not just with each other. They both also have ties with criminals. More specifically, the Triads, which makes sense since, by some accounts, the Triads came from the Hongmen. If you've been following the show for a while, you know that there are very deep and shady ties between Chinese organized crime and the CCP, which also makes sense since the CCP is basically just a giant organized crime syndicate. The perfect example of the Hongmen, the CCP, and the Triads all coming together is Wang Kuok-koi, also known as Broken Tooth. He's the guy who led the Macau faction of the 14K, one of the largest Chinese organized crime organizations in the world. Shortly after being released from a 15-year sentence in 2012, Wan also created and led the World Hongman Historical and Cultural Association in Cambodia, which also had as a vice chairman Nicky Liao, a criminal who at one point was one of Malaysia's most wanted men. It was like the Avengers Assemble moment for lowlifes. The U.S. Treasury Department sanctioned Wan, aka Broken Tooth, in 2020 for engaging in drug trafficking, illegal gambling, racketeering, human trafficking, and other criminal activities. He dabbled in so many shady activities, the sanction basically ended with, "You get the point." The Treasury Department also accused Wan of being a member of the CCP's Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference. Wan's Hongmen-related ventures also got sanctioned, which included co-opting elite figures in Malaysia and Cambodia, setting the groundwork to expand Chinese influence in Palau, and financing human trafficking scam centers that subject victims to torture and extortion. To paraphrase the U.S. Treasury Department, you get the point. Secret societies like the Hongmen are just another one of the CCP's many tools. So if you find yourself being drawn to some secret Chinese society, you better think twice and check that it isn't a pro-CCP shill. When China says it wants to use the whole of society to conquer the world, it really means the whole of society, including secret ones. Like Santa and his helpers, why do you think he wears red? The CCP has secret societies and criminal gangs supporting it. We don't have those resources. So please, help us continue to expose the CCP by subscribing to our premium website, where we don't have to worry about YouTube censorship, and you also get a bunch of exclusive content you won't ever see here on YouTube. That's ChinaUncensored.tv. You can just click on this button that's been on screen. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.